I like trains.
Hello everyone! Today's video features a chase of one of Maryland Midland's road trains. It's been quite a while since I posted a Maryland Midland video, or much less catch one of their trains, so I was due. Of course, this footage was filmed about a few months ago, but regardless, it has been a long time. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this video. I will go into more detail about the chase itself and each location. On January 6, 2023, I went out to chase the Maryland Midland UBST. UBST stands for Union Bridge to Stone Terminal. This train runs Monday to Friday with the occasional extra run on a weekend. That happens only once in a blue moon. Maryland Midland symbols are different compared to those of CSX and Norfolk Southern. Rather than using numbers to name and distinguish trains, they use abbreviated letters that represent their origin and destination. I personally believe this symbol system makes more sense, especially from a rail fan's perspective, but as we know, the symbols are for the employees and not train enthusiasts. Anyways, I set up shop at North Main Street in downtown Union Bridge, which is where the UBST originates. The train begins running light-powered westbound to pick up stone loads in Woodsboro. Today's UBST was powered by a trio of EMDs, Locomotives 3450 and 3449, both EMD SD40M-2s, were on each end, as Locomotive 2061, an EMD GP38-3, was sandwiched in between. Here, we see 3450 lead the westbound light power move out of Union Bridge, which meant that our chase was underway. From Union Bridge, we headed to Keymar at Y Road. This spot is neat because the three Maryland Midland trains, UBST, UBHF, and UBTT, use the Y for different purposes. The UBHF continues straight down the main track westbound to Highfield. The UBTT takes the Y to spin power and then proceeds northbound to Tawnytown. This Y is the only possible way the UBTT can run north and is therefore the reason why they operate push-pull, which is when there is one locomotive on each end of the train. The UBST, like the UBTT, also takes the Y, but it continues southbound to Woodsboro. As the UBST approaches the Y, we get some very unique scenery consisting of farmland and emus. This was definitely not something I expected to see on this day. Our next location was in New Midway at Baker Road. I attempted to climb up a short hill to get a shot of this train, but I could not quite make it all the way as the train was already there when we arrived. I was fortunate enough to even get footage at this spot. Next, we headed to Woodsboro Quarry at Lagore Bridge Road. This is where the UBST picks up the stone loads. Today's train consisted of 26 cars, a normal length for the UBST. From this point on in the video, we will see Locomotive 3449 lead the train eastbound. I unfortunately did not have time to chase the train bringing back empties, but I was still satisfied with what I did see. After picking up the 26 stone cars, the UBST proceeded eastbound to Finksburg, the location of the stone terminal. Our first eastbound location was in New Midway at Maryland 194. This road is also known as Woodsboro Pike. Here we see the UBST rounding the bend in pretty decent lighting. It was still mid-morning, so the sun was in the east, meaning it would be behind us for the rest of the chase. From New Midway, we bolted to Ladiesburg at Good Intent Road. This was more of a quantity over quality shot, as while we could have chosen somewhere else, my goal was to maximize the number of times I caught the UBST within this chase. At the end of the day, I was glad to catch it here. From here, we went back to North Main Street in Union Bridge to see the train pull through. Now, one thing to note is that there is another Maryland Midland road train that I have not mentioned, the UBEG, which stands for Union Bridge to Emery Grove. This train is essentially the UBHF, as it too carries cement. The only difference is that the UBEG runs eastbound rather than westbound, as it runs in the same direction as the UBST. The UBEG used to run on its own until a few years ago, when Maryland Midland decided to be efficient with crews. Furthermore, the UBEG only ran on Tuesdays and Thursdays to begin with, and the UBST ran every weekday. Because of this, they decided to combine the two trains on days cement was in demand in Emery Grove. In fact, there have been a few times where I caught the combined UBEG ST before. Feel free to check them out in the Maryland Midland playlist on my YouTube channel. Anyways, on this day, there was no cement for the UBST to pick up, so they continued straight through Union Bridge without stopping. From Union Bridge, we headed to New Windsor at Church Street. This spot was cool because in the distance you will see an old Western Maryland signal. Most of this line is former WM trackage, with the exception of the Tawnytown branch. That line was originally owned by the Pennsylvania Railroad. After catching a train in New Windsor, we headed to Westminster at South Tannery Road. The chase became increasingly difficult from here on out as the track speed increased. Unfortunately, I do not know the exact speed limit, but I would have to imagine it being at least 30 miles an hour. From here, we would continue eastbound to catch the train at one last spot. Our final location on this chase was in Patapsco at Patapsco Road. This spot was cool because it was down in the valley with the Patapsco River paralleling the tracks. This location definitely gave old mainline vibes. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this video so far. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you have not yet. Most importantly, have a great day out there wherever you may be. Until next time, this is the Old Main Guy, out.
Sweet.